Trouble in the Synagogue Church of All Nations, as apparently all of the late prophet TB Joshua's legacy is about to go in ruins. Church elders are punishing his wife, Mrs. Evelyn Joshua, and are also planning to sell his private jets. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this channel. Like you can already tell from what I've been saying, it seems like all is not well in the Synagogue Church of All Nations. According to one evangelist, Kayode, who is an elder in the church, he has come to say that so many things are happening in Synagogue Church of All Nations following the demise of TB Joshua. He says that some people that when Prophet TB Joshua was alive used to say that he didn't trust. According to him, he says he does not trust these people and that it is only God he trusts. But he lets love lead, and because he loves them, he just let them do what they want. Now, these people who are former personal assistants to the late Prophet TB Joshua, that they used to call them prophets, prophetess, disciples and whatnot, they have now stylishly and suddenly seized power in Scoan, and they've made themselves heirs of the spiritual and estates of the world-renowned prophet against the legitimate heirs of the company or the church, his wife Mrs. Evelyn TB Joshua, and their 3 children, Sarah, Promise, and Hart. He says that these people, they've turned themselves into the Apex Council. They even have a board council that they newly created, governorship body that they newly created, and it is without Evelyn Joshua or any family member of TB Joshua that they have taken over all the possession of this man. That when Evelyn Joshua, late TB Joshua's wife, wanted to address church members, the over 2,000 church members that they have, to say, okay, well, thank you very much for supporting me, to thank them for coming again to church after they had to close down following COVID-19 restrictions and everything, that these people said no way, she does not get to address church members. And he said that these people, they were just TB Joshua's workers, not like they were sanctified or ordained by him. When they wanted to make Evelyn Joshua the overall leader, these guys came out to oppose it, saying that she was never ordained or appointed by TB Joshua as a minister. But they also were never appointed. They were just called prophets, prophetess, because they were close to TB Joshua. Now they have made one of the prayer mountains that the church has, they have turned it into their home. The prayer mountain of the church that is at Agodo Egbe, designed only for prayers, has become their residence. They've completely abandoned their official quarters of the church and relocated to the mountain along with their personal attendants, where they are living large. Somewhere where TB Joshua used to conduct prayers have now turned to a place where they hold their meetings and private affairs, something that they would never be able to practice when TB Joshua was alive. That what they are now doing currently is trying to sell its private jets, all the estates, how money comes into the church and whatnot. Evelyn Joshua now has no idea that when they are trying to sell this private jets, she didn't know everything. She's been kept in the dark. The only thing she just realized is that from the prayer mountain where they are living, they have arranged to sell some of TB Joshua's aircraft before their bubble burst. Finally, they got caught. That all arrangements have been permanently and perfectly sealed by them before they uncover their fraud. They have their own personal bureau de change, and it is not surprising that EFCC is investigating their activities over their sudden emergence as millionaires. Available information shows that many of them have become overnight millionaires within the last few months. They have been using TB Joshua's contact on behalf of the church to secure funds, which neither any of TB Joshua's family nor church members were aware of, not until information started coming out from the back doors. They continued the lockdown of the church without services, and they were not pleasant to church members. This behavior is very concerning, that some other church members are beginning to call for them. He said that Scoan is obviously going through a new phase of experience in its life. Members and public are watching the landing of the church of a great prophet whose positive impact had globally touched the lives of many. Also, it is said that after TP Joshua's demise, all his phones were taken from the family. They had no idea of what was happening. And it wasn't until Evelyn, Joshua, family members, and everybody's big personalities went to actually appeal to them. They had to appeal to them to release TB Joshua's phone. And by the time they got TB Joshua's phone, they have removed everything. They had deleted, wiped off everything in the phones so that she wouldn't have access to anything about them and their partners. Before then, they had also transferred all of the information to their own private custody, using this information to contact partners and securing funds without the knowledge of Mrs. Joshua or any authentic members of the church, besides a few of them at the top of discipleship. That is, so currently he's saying that these prophetess who were not ordained but have turned themselves to the Jagabans in Scoan have now turned the prayer mountain to their own abode. They've planned to sell his private jet. They've created a governing council, governing board, where they've booted out TB Joshua, meaning that none of his family members have any stake in Synagogue Church of All Nations, a church that he started and funded himself. He was also saying that they are getting money from TB Joshua's contact business partners and making money off those people and not remitting it to the church, and they've refused to let Mrs. Evelyn Joshua take over leadership of the church because they are saying that it is not a legitimate right. Now, if you are wondering what is happening, Prophet Temitope Balogun Joshua died few weeks to his 58th birthday celebration. Cause of his death is still a little bit skeptical. Some people said he died following a brief sickness. Some people said he died of natural causes. We actually do not know who actually majorly killed Prophet TB Joshua, but he was a well-renowned minister of God. He owned Emmanuel TV, he owned several publications, and he was also a philanthropist in his lifetime, responsible for personally and individually changing the lives of many. His church has over 20,000 worshippers, and it is regarded as one of the most visited sites in Nigeria, attracting people from all over the world, and it is said that it even sees more visitors than Buckingham Palace does in a year. That is to show you how influential TB Joshua was and how strong the church is or was. But now that so many things is beginning to plague the church, this evangelist is coming out to say humans will always be humans regardless of their position, wealth, or wherever they find themselves. Any small thing is going to show the human part of them, and that is what we are seeing happen now in the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Now, do you think this might be because Prophet TB Joshua did not anticipate his death? Although it is said that he predicted it and he said a lot of goodbye messages to his church members, but he didn't really put things in place when it comes to leadership or people that would take over the church. Or maybe he did, but he didn't expect that these people that he's put as set men over his church will turn it into private business and will just want to profit financially off the church. I'm waiting for you in the comment section. Let's know what you think. They are trying to sell his jet and ruin his estate. Let's just hope that this man's legacies do not end up in ruins and being stained with a lot of negativity. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Subscribe if you're here to do that, and also click on the bell button so you'll be notified when we have new uploads. Bye, guys.